Ripple's global gold-backed financial standard, and additionally, crypto executive order signed by Trump. And these things can be closely related in a lot of ways. So we're going to take a look at that. And before we get into it, we're going to show you that our channels are supported by the Decent Wallet. So here's a Decent Wallet ad, and we'll be right back.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. It's just a few taps. You can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.
All right, welcome back. So what do we have for you? Well, I've been doing an ongoing series in regards to the whole notion of XRP gold-backed assets. Well, this is an update in regards to that and a lot of new recent developments. How about Ondo? Some of you guys have the Ondo token. So we're going to jump into this, why it matters, and give you the new update. So first thing we're going to start off with is this highlight. Again, from Smoke, shout out to him. And he highlights some cool things here, to say the least. Now, we're not trying to create FUD. You know, Will and I both hold Stellar and Ripple XRP. But basically, he mentions, as in Smoke, USDC does differ in one crucial aspect from RLUSD, in that Circle does not also offer its own blockchain. By being able to offer both rails, its XRPL blockchain and the token that can move along those rails, RLUSD, for cross-border payment companies, Ripple is positioned to be able to provide a complete solution rather than needing to partner with other providers such as Circle's Ripple partnership to supply MoneyGram. Getting further into this, just in case you're not aware of it, again, back to Smoke, you know, Ripple has partnerships with Finastra, and that means, you know, big time use case for the XRPL. One connection, 11,000 connections. And we also know that Ripple already has 200 plus financial institutions connected, but that is tiny compared to like the 11,000 that use Swift. But the deal would benefit both Finastra and, of course, Ripple's existing clients. So we kind of been there, done this with, you know, the research from November and so on. But even jumping over to it, this guy did an excellent job on January 2nd from usethebitcoin.com. This guy, Andrew B., points out that the 6 biggest banks using Ripple XRP products, well, instead of giving you just a list and saying, well, yep, here they are, how about actually giving you a little bit more further of an explanation? So I don't want to get so much into American Express, but one thing I do want to jump into, other than Santander, because we covered it recently, is this from UBS. Union Bank of Switzerland. UBS is a big international bank from Switzerland. It is one of the biggest private banks in the world. It has over 1 trillion in assets. UBS began testing Ripple technology back in 2017 and officially joined RippleNet in 2018 to simplify its payment processes. Here's another one you may have never heard of, but I think it's significant. Qualix, financial company with over 25 years of experience in Mexico, the United States, Hong Kong, started working with Ripple in 2017 to offer loans, payment services, etc., etc. Qualix was one of the first banks to use XRapid, a Ripple tool that uses XRP to send money between US and Mexico and to make it cheaper. Other banks may follow Qualix's example. Again, think about it. If they follow their example, think about Latin American countries, right? It starts off with one to prove its use case. We've done enough outlines about JP Morgan, but you kind of get the gist about this. And as we jump further into it, listen to this. Where did this all start with this whole notion of RLUSD? Shout out to Verson Alarja, does it better than just about anybody at Black Swan Capitalist. He states, Trump's former economic advisor, Judy Schell, highlights the importance of a level playing field through gold-backed stablecoins supporting gold convertible treasury bonds. Now, I've done a couple of videos about Stellar and financial inclusion, the U.S. Treasury choosing Stellar. Well, what about Ripple XRP? Think about this, everybody. So this, does it very well align with XRP on how it was originally designed? And, providing a different use case. Well, interesting timing, and I couldn't agree more. This comes a day, of course, before the whole launch of RLUSD, but this pounds home everything with what you're going to see here in a bit. So this is about a minute, and we'll come right back. Here we go.
My real goal is international monetary reform and back to that level monetary playing field that we had under Bretton Woods and under classical international gold standard, because that was a good thing. That is what supported the logic of international trade. Why you can't have free trade if people are manipulating currencies. And so I'm not suggesting we go back to a classical or Bretton Woods or anything that existed in the past. I'm saying let's go back to the future. Let's use some of the virtues of having money that serves as a dependable store of value, but in a new way. Maybe we issue stable coins, not we, but maybe people in the private sector issue stable coins that are backed by gold convertible treasury bonds. But let's establish a beachhead and say the goal is to have a dependable dollar, and maybe start even questioning this deliberate debasement by the Federal Reserve. Let's ask Congress if they approve of doing that.
All right. So with that said, before we kick it over to this new update in regards to Ondo and this new thing they have with the XRPL, your thoughts in regards to what she just mentioned, Mr. Will Fix?
Well, one of the first steps might be just to be using RLUSD, maybe also USDC, which is already approved by the Treasury. And but RLUSD also is backed by United States Treasuries. And my thoughts go to we're gonna take a look at also where Trump signed in a crypto bill, and included in that is some information just to bring forward right here at this point, is that he doesn't want a CBDC, which isn't necessary. A CBDC, as you know, adds the governmental control over that particular currency, but a stable coin like RLUSD or USDC are both stablecoin dollars that offer the ability to be digital, of course, but no governmental control. So the first step may be to start utilizing these stable coins, and then the next step might be to start backing them either partially or totally by gold, like she's mentioning, which would be fantastic. I mean, then we'd have a gold-backed currency in effect, and that would probably be a real strong move.
I think it would be. I've been doing this ongoing series for a while about the whole thing of gold, and sometimes it kind of annoys a few people, but as the saying goes, you can't please all the people all the time. But if anything, you give people updates all of the time. All right, so with that said, let's jump into a little bit more of what we have for you guys. So what's next on the lineup is a big update. It was released this morning, and I think it's huge news. And Will and I were more than excited to bring it to you guys because we know that a lot of you guys are invested into Ondo. But, again, this is a win for Ripple XRP. How so? Well, Ondo Finance, 185 million tokenized U.S. Treasury offering joins the XRP ledger. Yes, XRP. Well, as you see here, literally this morning, tokenization real-world asset platform, Ondo Finance, bringing 185 million, of course, the U.S. Treasury token, enterprise-focused XRP ledger. Again, enterprise-focused, not retail-focused. Ondo short-term U.S. government treasuries, OUSG, token is backed by BlackRock's USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund. Now, Will and I have both covered BUIDL in the past, but this will allow qualified investors to mint and redeem tokens around the clock near instantaneously using Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin. This right here, you guys, man, oh man, this means a ton of liquidity coming into Ripple XRP. It's a big win for Ripple. It's a big win for Ondo. And let's face it, even the likes of BlackRock. So Ondo is the government's token of Ondo Finance, and it advanced 4% on the news. But wherever the case be, participants have this whole thing of being able to, I guess you could say, grow traditional finance such as bonds, credit, and funds on a blockchain. Again, that whole thing about a blockchain. Remember the differentiator of, I guess you could say, Circle and RLUSD? Does this create more demand for RLUSD? Possibly. Again, not trying to make FUD. We're invested in both. But wherever the case be, tokenized versions of the U.S. Treasury notes spearheaded the trend and more than quadrupled over the past year to become 3.5 billion in asset class, at least according to RWA XYZ data. Now, this statement, I know it's a lot of verbatim here. This is a good one. I don't want to miss it. The 24/7 intraday settlement enabled by tokenized assets like OUSG marks a transformative shift in capital flow management. It breaks free from the traditional trading hours and slow settlements. Again, understand the difference of supply and demand, everybody, of that shift from the stock market to the crypto markets. Marcus Infinger is a senior vice president of RippleX and an XRP ledger development firm. Said in a statement, quote, "These low-risk, high-quality liquidity options not only provide better accessibility for investors, but also introduce greater stability to blockchain-based markets." With that said, Mr. Will Fix, I want to point something out. We just talked recently about the whole thing of ETS. In my opinion, this brings another layer of use case for XRP. Your thoughts?
So I see the connection. It's like a huge cycle. It's going to cost XRP in order for all these functions to take place with RLUSD. And it's going to end up burning XRP. So it's a huge bullish cycle. More treasuries. If we go gold backed and we go RLUSD, we have the tokenization of real world items. You know, treasuries is underneath that banner. So wow, how bullish can you get, man? It's like we'll just cycle all of this money, burn up some XRP, and cause the price to go higher, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big win moving forward. And to wrap things up for you guys, we want to share just a few other publications that have been reporting this as well. So something that's going to come up on your screen is also this. Here's another highlight. And this time it comes from mittrade.com. So it says here that, basically speaking, the integration is the natural convergence of a compliance first yield bearing product with a network purpose built for institutional adoption. When we talk about, for example, everybody, and I'll come back in the frame, about the whole thing of ODL, on demand liquidity use case, now you're starting to see things unravel. You know, before, again, so much focus on retail. Let's get back to that institutional adoption. So we get further into this. Understand that the XRPL extends RWA tokenization market trend. Ondo Finance will be the second company to bring its tokenized U.S. Treasury assets, of course, to XRP's blockchain network. But back in August of last year, OpenEden introduced tokenized U.S. Treasury bills, which are short-term U.S. government debt obligations to the XRPL. So for me, this tells me that we have another case here of pounding home, if you want to call it the narrative, of tokenizing debt. We've been talking about this for years, tokenizing debt, or, you know, the derivatives market. To me, those are some of the biggest markets out there. But where the case be, the final part on the bottom is sharing with you guys the significance of, I know this keeps hovering over there, I apologize, about how throughout 2024, these assets saw unprecedented growth with a total value locked surpassing 176 billion, according to research done by the Tokenized Asset Coalition, TAC. That's a huge deal. And again, want to put some highlight on this. Ripple has shed light on the growth potential RWA tokenization market, the firm cited the Boston Consulting Group's recent predictions that the market will grow to $16 trillion by 2030, Mr. Will Fix. And what do we keep hearing? For the longest time in 2024, when Ripple was at 50 cents, price don't move much. Not enough money in the whole world to make this happen. Guess what? There's a retail narrative, and then there's the institutional narrative. And for me, I'm going to follow the smart money, sir. Your, well, almost closing thoughts before we kick it over to this big announcement from President Trump, Mr. Will Fix.
Wow, something we didn't mention and something I didn't think about was TVL. You ever heard of that? Total value locked. When you get into tokenizing real world assets, you're tokenizing an absolute amount of money, not a fluctuating price of an XRP. You know, that can be worth this much, it can be worth less, it can be worth more. But when you do some real world assets and you do gold, and you do other real world assets, the total value locked on the ledger, I believe, establishes a baseline that causes there to be a minimum value of that particular network. And Ethereum's done real well at this through smart contracts and tokenization. So we don't need to leave out the total value locked when they, if they add gold to the XRP, XRPL network, and along with real tokenization of real world assets, we're talking about total value locked, increasing the baseline, you know, of what the value of the network is. And I think that has a tremendous value.
It does have a tremendous value. And going further into this, I want to share some of that quote unquote value with you guys. We understand some of you guys hold Ondo. So check this out. This is a win for Ondo and it's a win for Ripple XRP. How so? Well, just giving you the quick gist, as you see on the screen here from Cointelegraph, Ondo finances, tokenized U.S. Treasury to join XRP Ledger. Well, upon launch, Ondo's OUSG tokens will in fact be redeemable using Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin. So again, another source to pound this home. Yeah, that's big. And then the other thing we want to jump into is from LinkedIn. Let's just call it the Institutional X. Ripple's transformation into a global gold-backed financial standard. Again, back to the lady earlier, who is this lady, with what she had to say. See, this is all aging well. And to pound it home that much more, January 24th, literally just a few days ago, posted from Holland and Knight, President Trump signs executive order on digital assets. Order seeks to strengthen American leadership in digital financial technology. So with that said, everybody, you know, I think this is big. And Will, your closing thoughts in that regard?
I don't know what else to say. You pretty much said it. It looks like, you know, there's a little bit of speculation in here, but people talk about it before they do it. And we've been talking about the tokenization of gold and adding it in as part of the standard of our money system. And like she was saying, you know, she sees it necessary. I feel like it's necessary, and it looks like it would be amazing. I mean, the baseline or the base currency being, being the dollar, but most of all of this riding on the XRPL and Ripple network. It's fantastic. I mean, you just saw there where if XRPL puts that on their network, it increases that value, but then it's cashed out with RLUSD being the liquidity source of moving those dollars. So, I mean, you know, it's all win-win here. It's what it looks like to me.
But again, from Holland and Knight, I can't dismiss this before we wrap it up. So look what it says. Promoting the U.S. dollar's sovereignty through lawful dollar-backed stablecoins. Say what you want. Ripple with RLUSD being part of that mix of a lawful-backed stablecoin. You can understand where the shift is going to be when it comes for the supply and demand for Ripple XRP and even RLUSD. Now you get an honorable mention to Quant Network, because if you research Quant, it specifically mentions legally binded smart contracts. The answer for me, own some of all of it. And then you're not a maxi in anything, and when one shoots up, you have it. You know, people call it timing the market. You could time the market by simply owning a good portion of these particular assets that are going to have a lot of significance moving forward. So that's a show, everybody. Glad to bring it to you guys. Simply do Will and I a solid, and that is type in this key word if you listen to the entire outline. And actually, it's a term. Legally binded smart contracts. And we'll know that you listen to the entire outline. Saying goes, know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. We'll see you on the next one. Hey guys, I just want to point out something real quick in regards to Uphold with you guys. A lot of you guys are familiar with Uphold or heard about it, but if you're brand new to all this and don't have an account, basically there's some benefits. It benefits me, it benefits you. This is a win-win. But one thing I want to point out to really pound it home with Uphold is, for example, XDC. As we know, with XDC, a lot of us have to jump through the hoops of like KuCoin, use a VPN to kind of get around things. This is American-based exchange with Uphold. You don't have to do that. You can get your XDC here, and yeah, not having to deal with that is a great thing. You could also get XRP here. Again, American-based exchange. There's a refer and earn. Bottom line is, if you deposit $100, I get 20, you get 20. It's a win-win for both of us. And of course, that's in BTC, but again, you can swap that to any of these particular altcoins. So check it out. Links are in the description if you would like to take advantage of the 20. And yeah, a win for both of us. How cool is that? Links in the description, both on the live and on the recorded. Thanks, guys. Over and out.